Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Thursday yet again, and that means Tales of Vardin on 2 Dice. So strap in, get ready. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's take a look and see who we've got playing with us this evening. Just starting right here, right next to me with our lovely person here.
Hello, I am a person, definitely, not 3 raccoons in a skin suit. Hello, my name is Taylor, also known as Nerdy Pinup Girl on most social media platforms. You can find me mainly active on TikTok or Instagram. If you like special effects makeup, cosplay, smashable monsters, body paint, you should totally give me a follow. As well as a bunch of D&D stuff, which I am so excited to be releasing here soon. Today I am playing the wonderful 7-foot-tall green muscle mommy, Grendel Fialova, the barbarian of the party, who is on the endless search from being a little farm girl to wandering the world and trying to claw her way into the abyss to get her amazing and beautiful tiefling girlfriend, Helene. And nothing will stop her from crushing Mr. Balls. And on to the lovely and beautiful Dia.
Hey guys, I'm Dia, also known as Diavel.cause on all social media. I play Xenia, who is our Beastmaster Ranger, who is a half-orc, and it's really funny because Chris and I have just realized his summons creatures are either really small, cutesy puffballs, or like his little pack monk, about yee big, or they're eldritch horrors, the likes of what you've never seen. There is no in-between. There's no dogs and cats here. There's only dragons and beasts, or pack monks. You can find me mostly active on TikTok. However, because I've had a few recent cons here in New Zealand, I've had the results of several photo shoots recently coming up on Instagram. And in the next 2 weeks, one of my cosplays is pretty much complete. If you'd like to see a rendition of the Greek goddess that is Aphrodite, stay tuned. I will be filming next week. And in addition to that, because a lot has happened, what some of the OC Storytech creators and I have started doing, it was Cindy Salem's idea at first, but every Wednesday, that is American time, we're dubbing it Voidness Day, and it's going to be the designated day in which we post old drafts from like 2021, 2022. So we still see our efforts from years past, even though they may not be up to our current quality of standards, but we also don't want them to go to waste, and we'd like to share them and also clear out space for new creations. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm just a dude playing with a whole bunch of other people here. Name's Lee Newcomb, please. I have no socials, nothing really special other than I'm just a fun guy hanging out with friends. I am your cowboy fate wielder, Xavier Millie for short. Upcoming wannabe assassin and fun guy to just be around. That's a prep. Millie fact for the day: ain't no bunk beds in the graveyard.
True. That's true. Hey, how's it going? Daddy Tarzan here. I'm the dude pretending to be another dude who's pretending to be another dude. Little Tropic Thunder humor there for you. Daddy Tarzan 82855 on all social media platforms. Primarily post on TikTok as a werewolf assassin, mostly thirst traps and occasional D&D content. I am playing William, the dude that's pretending to be another dude who pretends to be another dude. Yeah, nearly died last session, and yeah, that was fun. Let's see where this goes. I'm not nervous.
With that, not at all. What does he always say? It'll buff out. Yeah,
It'll buff out.
We need a big buffing wheel for this one. Anyway, with that, please enjoy this intro that our dear friend Michael San Gregorio made for us for here on To Be Diced. a window. Gothic ironwork that filters in pale moonlight. As the camera pans down, you see a book and long, pale fingers just resting on the spine. As the book is page down on this person's chest, a warm light begins to enter the room. A small candle and the patter of footsteps. As an elderly gnome enters. A small gnomish hand reaches up and touches the hand that's on the book, pulls away, and you hear them call for help. As the book drifts down, as help is had, and they lay this individual down on the bed, cover them with blankets, as they have found him to be cold. The book falls to the ground, and this gnomish individual goes, "I'll pick this up. What is this? What is... Oh my. It's worse than we thought." As he looks back to the page, a flare of light that transitions into a red and pink flare of sunset that lens glares off of a raven's back. The camera follows this bird as it flies above and past a few filtering clouds. The deep ocean below, the beautiful sunset in the distance. And as the camera pans down, it switches from sun to the two moons of Vardin as the crow is silhouetted against the crescent moon. The sound of waves lapping against wood, the creaking of a ship as the camera pans along the side, it reveals splintered wood, deep grooves from the recent battle, a ship that looks like it's been through a typhoon, sails battered, masts broken, rigging laying on the deck, bodies of brave sailors defending their ship as the others that are still living begin to pick up their lives once again. Ogner picking up his men, giving them words of affirmation, and then giving them a job to do as he himself returns to the helm once again to assess things and move the ship forward, as is his duty. A haunting tune plays. And a voice is heard. "Oh, Billy Bones, a name well known, a terror and a fiend. No mercy shown, just blood and bone. The end of Billy bones. And this is where we return to our captain's quarters, where Millie has cast a remove curse spell, aiding William in coming back to his senses. William, you're back. Back. Grendel, you see almost as if weight that keeps William's cheeks sunken in and his posture hunched lift as this decrepit pirate from the previous battle, blood and sinew and bone exposed, almost nothing human left, almost regains its humanity despite the visual of him in this space. What would you all like to do?
I will say Grendel does have her arm, like, literally ready for a backhand to knock sense back into William. She will probably see him kind of return to this almost normal state, but she is literally still holding her hand up, waiting for him to speak. Also, while still in her fire giant form due to the potion she took.
How long does that last, by the way?
I believe last time we confirmed that it was only like, it was a full hour because she took it like near the very end of combat. So
yeah, perfect. Yeah, you have like 55 minutes back. We won't worry about that. Cool.
she built.
Mm-hmm.
Healing, going from his last recollection of being present in the moment on the deck to the sudden realization that he's now within his quarters on fire. In a metaphorical weight inexplicably removed from him. He just stands there, still smoldering, but what did you do?
What did you do, Millie? Grendel's slowly going to lower her hand.
Millie just beat to all hell. She's just going to, like, heavy panting breathing, just give a little Millie smirk, as he calls it, and says, finally got that sumbitch, and starts to attempt to turn around and says, I've cleansed you of a friend that you've had that I've noticed. I noticed of a friend that you had and removed him from watching you from afar. I hope that helps. And he's going to wave a hand to them. Just make sure you remember to pat the fires off, stop, drop, and roll, hop in the water. But as far as I know, and he's going to actually use divine sense to see if he can sense undead within 60 feet of him.
You don't need that. He looks like a living corpse.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
He is unsure still, okay? Millie is a precautionist.
Yeah. I will say Grendel at this point would pat out the flames on William. Like, her like big muscly hands just you hold it right here. And like then like his hat's on fire, just okay. All right.
Millie, yeah, you get undead from our friend William here. but no others within 60 feet. William, as Grendel is patting the flames out, you notice that what's left is what's left of your dress blues.
It was such a nice suit. That is a very big shame.
Let me see how
Maybe
this works.
Maybe it's for the best, Grendel.
Millie.
You also notice that there's a giant hole in your office floor from you blasting a mephit into oblivion from last time.
I thought I was going to have to bitch slap some sense into you, William. I'll be honest. It seems like Mr. Billy Bones was really trying to make his way into wreak havoc. You just honestly, the Neffets were kind of annoying, but I felt bad for that one. Jesus.
Yeah. Millie's going to chime in and say, just bring that to the kitchen. I can do something to help out, but I'm going to go take a nap. And he's just going to walk back to the top deck to kind of help out.
Perfect. As you do that, I need everyone to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Shit.
You get advantage on those, right?
Yes, Grendel does get advantage, I believe, because of the ring from Toro.
Okay.
Do I get advantage?
Ooh,
Do I
it's still
also
a
need to roll?
-2, but all right. First is a 6.
I got nothing that
15
gives me
minus
advantage.
2 for a 13.
Ooh. You said wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
7. Always about to have a mental breakdown now.
Oh shit.
16. And okay.
I like how I was working in like consecutive order until Millie.
Look, I gotta get all the bat rolls out right now, you know?
Yeah, get him out now. You can't shake the feeling that someone or something is watching you. You all also get an unbearable feeling, a homesickness, a burning desire to drop everything, to forget about where you're going, and to go home. You hear in your own voices, I want to go home. I want to go home. I just want the fighting to stop. I just want to go home.
Grendel's just going to start crying. Not like sobbing, just tears, just alligator tears just start pouring out of her eyes as her lip quivers.
According to the only method he knows of dealing with these types of emotions, he goes straight for his liquor cabinet, pulls out a bottle, begins to take a heavy pull from it.
I will mention Grendel isn't thinking about home with her parents. She is thinking about Helene under the apple tree. For her, home is with Helene. It's not with her parents. It is with Helene.
As your thoughts pivot to this home, this thought of what could have been, what could be, what I want to be, they deepen further. William, what are your surface thoughts?
I could go back. Take back the life that I deserve. The doorway is right in my grasp.
As you have these thoughts, it changes the voice in your head from, please, I want to go home. Please stop the fighting. I just want to go home. To, yes, I deserve it. I deserve something for once. I deserve to be happy. And I'll take it back. Xenia, what are your surface thoughts about home?
Xenia has the amulet of proof against detection and location. Would that impact anything at all?
Mm-hmm.
No? Xenia, at the moment, while everyone is in the captain's quarters, has laid flat on his back, sunning himself, while still dripping wet from his impulsive dive with the sea dragon. His Kippian comes to land beside him and shakes itself off as a dog would, and he just flinches away from even more droplets of water and just says, I still stand by what I said. The sea has done nothing good for me. And he just gets this deep longing to feel the cold crispness of snow-capped mountains, the smell of pine, roasting meat that mother would cook in season. And he longs for that.
Yeah. Briefly, the voice that longs for home becomes one of deep resentment and hatred for all things ocean. But as you turn your thoughts towards the comforts of home, the smell of pine, the things that bring you closer to yourself and to nature, so does that voice that follows. Millie, as you are exiting the captain's quarters, you're struck with this feeling and desire of home. What surface thoughts does that bring to you?
That's a very tough one to answer because he would love to go home, but he knows that he can't. I think the first thing he would do is to pull out his holy symbol, which is the raven feather, and immediately kind of like squat or sit wherever he's at and start to bring back the piece of him that is what he used to be, if it makes sense. The piece of him that reminds him of home, that holds the memories of his family, his homeland before the destruction. So he would try to bring back his sentinel raven uh, to kind of bring his anxiousness or his mental back to a more comfortable uh, standing, almost like a service animal would for anxiety attacks.
Yeah. As your chest tightens, your heart rate quickens, you feel veins in your neck tighten. And as this happens, that voice in your head begins to turn over. You don't belong anywhere. I don't deserve what I had. I'll never get it back. Just all these negative surface thoughts that you're having before your raven comes back. And as that connection happens and it brings your anxiety level down, so too the voices begin to change to ones less threatening. But still, the desire to go home persists for all of you. You then begin to hear not only your voices, but others. Mourning, sadness, hate, fear, distrust. The captain's gonna get us killed. We've got to get him out and talk to Ogner. Maybe he can talk some sense. You've seen what he's done. Are you kidding? You're talking mutiny right now. Have you seen what Billy can do? You better hope he can't hear you too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. I just want to go home, man. I'm off at the next port. Just please tell me we'll get there. I don't know. Just shut up and do your job. Is it worth it? No, they haven't told us anything. Go around the deck flinging around these super powerful weapons and flares of light, and it's just like, this is not what I signed up for. I signed up for a good gig, sail the ocean, make some money. Hell, I'll even hunt some sea monsters. I don't care. But this is some bullshit. Just these seeds of discourse from voices that you've heard in the past few days of roaming around the ship. And that unease, that feeling that somebody is watching you constantly, the chill running up the neck and spine, constantly there. Is there anything else we'd like to do before we move into the night, as repairs will be to follow, to hopefully get our speed back? Otherwise, we'll be a little bit longer on the ocean.
It looks like Grendel, upon like these feelings just kind of hitting her, she is immediately going to dismiss herself to her room and spend probably most of the night just looking through her little trinket bag that she has collected things for Helene. And if for her, it's not exactly feelings of sadness that she feels, it's more feelings of rage. She literally is thinking about what she is going to do to the people that took away the person that she loves from them.
Roll me another wisdom save, please.
All right.
You know.
Okay, that is a 13 minus 2 for an 11.
As you're going through this, your sadness turns to rage. And your rage becomes overwhelming.
She has no more rages left either, so... Ugh.
That is fine. I want you to roll me 3 attacks at advantage.
Just unarmed strikes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or with your axe, whatever you feel more appropriate.
All right. First one, that one. God fucking damn it. So first one was a nat 1, and then the second roll was a nat 20.
Okay.
Second attack, 3 and an 11 for a 19. The nat 20 would be a 28. And third attack is a 4 and an 8. For 8 plus 8 would be 16 for that last one.
Okay. This rage begins to seethe. Your vision goes red. As the voice, your own, built. I don't deserve this. I want my Helene. I want her back. This is your fault. You did this. You mother. How would you like to destroy your room?
Oh, I love a good remodel. Okay. So I think I'm
I
gonna
feel like open concept, William.
I think I'm gonna start with flinging the bed into the left corner, near the closet, and snapping it in half. She literally will throw it, and then she will immediately just follow through with just punch after punch after punch. And she will then take the dresser and probably break it over her knee, and then and if there is like a chest or a trunk anywhere, she would literally just walk up to it. It would be filled with her dresses and her clothes as she just sits there and just rages and punches and punches and punches. And I will say, as she is doing that, Druidcraft also probably would be going off, just like she still doesn't understand the magic concept behind things. So I feel like it would fluctuate a lot with her emotions. So with every punch, you see a flurry of flower petals and thorns almost brushing off of her shoulders as she is just swinging arm after arm after arm. And you just hear her just screaming out, "When I find you, I will make sure that your hell means nothing to you, and I will make sure that it feels nothing like home." And after that, she just sits there, falls to her knees, probably just staring at the completely crushed chest before her. Her dresses are strewn about, probably covered in dust and dirt. And she will kind of sit there for a moment before she picks up some of her dresses as she just starts ripping the skirts short. And more preparing them. Like she kind of is understanding at this point that it's no longer about trying to fit in, it's about trying to survive, as well as trying to make sure that I am a presence to be fucking reckoned with when I go and claim the woman I love in the pits of the fucking abyss.
I'd like to take a moment and point out the fact that usually furniture on a ship is bolted down in place.
She has 25 strength right now.
She just rips the shit out of the ground like it's fucking
ripping
nothing.
it out of the ground. I can roll strength saves if you need me to, but
you've got fire giant strength. I mean, this is awesome.
That's insane.
But afterwards, you wouldn't hear afterwards, after all the screaming, you wouldn't hear sobbing. You would hear what would be the equivalent of a fucking war cry.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that she can't go home to her family. She doesn't want to go home to her family. She wants to claw her way down into the abyss right now. If she had any way that she could find a way to do so, she would do it immediately. But she knows, if anything, this is more frustration because she doesn't know how to navigate this shit. The only thing she has to depend on is William and this journey that they're going on with collecting the Amber Paragons and hoping to find Helene along the way. And it is extremely frustrating for her because it's not happening fast enough, because she can't get there fast enough, because every single moment that Helene is not with her, she is going more and more angry. And it's taking a toll.
Xenia, this is not a half-orc war cry. This is a full orc war cry. William, you've faced a horde before on behalf of the Sovereign. And this chilling sound is familiar to both you and Millie. As you feel your own ship rumble and break from the inside. Moments later, you hear this spine-chilling roar from below decks. And you all begin to see small crabs crawl their way across the deck of the ship. And down below in the galley and through the halls of the ship. Each layer, just hundreds of these small crabs. Is there anything else before the night continues?
Grundle will take her fucking cot off of her broken bed frame, slam it in the middle of the fucking room. She curls up in a ball, and she will probably cry herself to sleep.
William would be still in his office, but like slumped in his chair with a hefty pour of rum in a goblet. Seeing these crabs, he'd probably take a couple shots at them if they came into his room. He's very much in a very manic state right now, and he's just.
Go ahead and roll me some attack rolls then.
Ibarra, that's 25. Let's see. 17 plus 9, that's a 26. And then a 28.
These beautiful, well-placed shots that you know for a fact should be hitting something. Especially with these things. I mean, they're, clay pigeon size at the very least. No reaction. Roll me either a nature or an intelligence check.
That's a 4.
4. These shots, they miss. And you're too concerned with other things to really worry about it.
Crabs. Fuck this mission. And he'll just remain there, staring blankly at the doorway.
The night.
Where he'll remain.
Very good. The night moves onward.
I would say that in the evenings, Enya would be sitting at the foot of his bed, his manual open to a new centerfold where he's sort of sketching the details of the sea creature as he could remember it, with a few notes detailing its movement, its scale pattern. And when one of these crabs come up, he's going to just scoop it up into his hand and say, "Where did you come from, little one? There's so many of you using speak with animals."
As you pick it up, it almost seems to... Well, roll me an intelligence or a nature check.
Wow, that's a whole 5.
Okay.
This is the sea. I don't know shit. It's a crab.
You hear
It's a little guy.
from it.
It's a little guy.
The fort. On the island. Home. I'm gonna go home.
What did out of character, what did happen to that fort? I don't think I was here. Was it still left intact when we left, or?
It was left mostly intact, and the Myconids had reoccupied it after your group had cleared it out for them once again.
You're very far from home. So am I. Maybe one day we can go back? But not yet. Maybe you can. Not me, not yet.
Why not you?
Well, because my friends are here and I said I would help my friends. Home will be there when I get back. Home is where you make it to be.
Even if it's not a nice place.
Even if it's not a nice place. It is where you came from and you cannot forget that. It is possible to have more than 2 homes. Maybe you travel. Maybe the wind carries you in a different direction. We see it with the trees all the time. Seeds on the wind.
The wind. I like the wind. I like to see how it carries the leaves and the dust in the air. Grendel, Millie, and William, you all hear this conversation, both sides of it, but each in your own voice.
Would this also just like be in a dream sequence if Grendel is trying to go to sleep, or?
As you're sitting there in your room, finally calming down and getting your cot there and sitting down and leaning over, in the moments before you go to sleep, it is very real to you. This is no dream. Your own voice. Your own voice. Home is where you make it. Everything that Xenia has said to this little crab is replayed in your mind as if it was yourself saying it to you.
Grendel's just going to reach into her little pouch, pulling out the emerald lotus that she received from the gift box. And she is just going to slowly just kind of wrap it around her fingers as she pulls it to her chest. And she just takes a moment and goes, I will make sure that I have the best home for us, when I find you. And then we can go home together. But right now, I don't even know how to find you. No matter how hard I seem to wish. And she will just kind of sit there and think about the times under the apple tree and in the flower shop as she just longs for home, all while interchanging with the thoughts of what she is going to do to Mr. Balls when she gets her her green girly hands on him.
And these words that you're uttering to yourself, Xenia, Millie, William, you hear as well, but each in your own voice. The crab sits in the palm of Xenia's hand, begins to crawl away, hesitates for one moment as it turns, its little eye stalks moving. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome.
When will we be on land?
That's a good question. How far away from our charted course? We were heading to the city.
You're about a day away from Nen. Last you looked.
But don't we still have to make repairs before we can even move any further?
You guys are moving at
They're
half
currently
speed,
underway.
but
Okay.
they will be underway tonight and all day tomorrow. So we'll make a few rolls and see how well the repairs go to see if you can make up ground and make their on schedule.
Matt, get back here so we can have your.
Please help!
A day or two before goes well. Should not be too long now.
Will there be more fighting?
I don't know. I cannot say. I hope not.
Fighting.
And with that, the crab moves under one of the walls and continues on as others kind of skitter and scatter about. Eventually, over the next 20-30 minutes, the crabs subside. And so do the voices.
Then
The night progresses on. The moon's raising high in the filtered cloud sky. Repairs are being made. Lamps lit. Crew working around the clock now that their numbers have been diminished even more. But taking appropriate rests and breaks, sleeping 1 hour or 2 hours at a time, then getting up and returning to their duties, switching off to maintain the strength of the crew, but also the optimal amount of repairs in the minimal amount of time. Your crew works for you, William. Despite their doubts, despite their fears, despite their distrust and paranoia, they continue through the night. Do you find rest this evening?
Mechanically, I want to say yes. But there was one thing that Billy provided that now with his absence, he no longer has that security. He's now racked with paranoia. After hearing the voices, in his own words, of his crew doubting his leadership, whispers of mutiny, I think the only thing he would get from tonight would be if anything, a short rest. He's sitting in his desk chair. Both Ivara and Nadia laid perpendicular on the desk to him, side by side, both barrels pointed directly at the doors. And he's just waiting expectantly for somebody to try and come in and try and kill him. And he waits, and waits, and waits.
Someone does come. A specter. A ghostly form of Caliban. And as he shuffles across the floor, the boards creak. His heavy boots falling. And something new tied on the end of a chain around his waist. A lantern with a purple-black glow. The lantern is shaped in the form of a screaming face. Very much resembling yours. Takes the bottle, pours 2 drinks, puts the lantern on the table. Hell of a day.
Hell of a day.
So what now? You lost all your motivation, your drive. Was Billy that for you? Or is that something that you have innately?
He straightens up. I honestly don't rightly know, mate. This attack came with a heavy cost.
Yeah, losing a piece of yourself is never easy. Don't worry. He looks over at the lantern. I won't let it go to waste.
Is that him?
Yep. Tough son of a bitch. Could prove to be useful. If only for information. You had a lot of things in your head, William. A lot of things are gone now. And I bet you they're in there. Question is, are you strong enough to find them? Are you strong enough to face him again, should the need arise?
I've always been more than Billy Bones. I will rise again. I have to.
And why is that?
Because I am charged with glorious purpose.
Well, that's better than some reasons I've heard. To Billy Bones and his demise. Things will be a lot quieter around the tavern. But I'm sure I'll be seeing you again. You're doing good, William. I have to admit. You're doing good. Made this old dead man feel something for once. Well, I'll be off now.
Before you go,
Grabs.
thank you for letting me have time with my wife.
Yep. Finishes tying the chain around his waist again. And disappears into the night. You feel the coin pulsate once again as Caliban returns, merged with you. Sunrise finds you. The ship repairs have gone well overnight. Somebody roll me a d6, please.
A 2.
Okay. You achieve a long rest, all but William. William, as the day breaks into your window, the sun warms the cold bones on half of your body. There are parts, most of your left leg, rib cage, and one hand that don't have skin on them, still bone, but with enough clothing probably could be covered up. Dark circles around your eyes, but not much more than skin and bone. Where the sun...
Qualify as a short rest?
Yes.
Okay.
And does
Yeah,
that
go
mean we?
ahead and take a
Does that
short
mean,
rest.
does that mean we get a long rest?
Yes.
You guys get long rests, yes.
Yay!
William opted to take a short rest. I was going to give him a long rest, but he decided to go with the rope
Narratively,
option, and I will, narratively will go with that. That's fine. I love those options. I love those things.
Does that also mean that I get my 3 charges back, or I guess I will find out?
I was getting to that.
Okay.
Whereas the dawn usually brings new magic and new life to things, William, the hilt of your Sea King's Fang does not chime and intensify in its glow. It is a loose-fitting gem, dull and grayed inside the hilt of the Sea King's Fang. Whereas the dawn would bring warmth and brightness to your shield buckler. The gem glows, but low, with 1 charge. Xenia. Remind me how many charges you used of your gauntlet.
Technically, the solar flare didn't actually, as written, take a charge. It's like
It does not.
an effect.
Yes. Okay.
I did not use the charges, actually.
Okay. Very good.
Normally it holds 3, and because I did not use any of the other effects, it should still have 3.
It still has 3 charges. A new day greets you. As the sun rises, seas are a little choppy, as that's what wakes you. The bow of the ship dipping and rising harshly. Anyone else that hasn't had their sea legs would probably be very nauseous by this point, but for the most part, it's not a great day of sailing. It's not smooth, but you are making headway. The repairs to the ship are about 88% done, which means that you are able to grab a few extra knots. Now, should the rest of the repairs go just as well, you should be able to make up the nautical miles needed to reach Nen by a little bit past midday. Is there anything that this new day brings for any of you? Or do we progress through travel?
And then he's just going through the ship, mending what he can, just repeatedly.
Grundle will help where she can, but she probably will be very much just kind of keeping to herself, just kind of doing what needs to be helped, any heavy lifting. But she would probably not really say a word aside from okay, and that's really about it. You wouldn't even probably see her making flower crowns all that much.
Biggest point of order for William would be to getting his fucking Curious fixed. Who else's magical items took a hit? Was it just William's?
No, mine did as well. I only have 1 charge after
mine's. I'm talking like needs to be like repaired because mine is fucked until I get it repaired.
As far as destroyed, no. I think only 1 magical item was completely destroyed, and that would be your Curious.
breaking my heart, Anakin.
We're not even near sand right now. I'm sorry.
You know, this will probably be the first day on the Pale Lady that William has not emerged from his quarters. And I want to say partially due to the fact that he took a trip back to Grand Soren. Because two things.
Okay.
The voices actually make it three things. The voices, his Curus, and his wife.
Okay. Then Grendel, Xenia, Xavier. Millie, Xavier.
But he would have not said anything to anybody. So yeah.
Yeah. It's just everybody's waiting on Cap to come out. Awesome. Yeah. I need you three to make wisdom saving throws for me.
Is there a way to know if the funeral rites from last night were able to be done, or would I have to do it today?
No, last night, anything that you wanted taken care of last night is taken care of. So if you want to do funeral rites, that would have been part of your winding down the day, kind of tending to your duties, anything like that. So
sweet. Yeah. So let's see what I got for this wisdom.
That was a nat 20 for 25.
Beautiful.
That's wisdom saving throw, right? Ooh,
that is correct.
17 for Grendel.
19 for the Millie.
Okay.
I will say William will be wearing regular clothing, his usual travel attire. He has a glove on one hand to cover up his missing flesh for the time being.
God damn it. God fucking damn it.
And yeah.
So what time did you go through the hole?
Honestly, probably before the sun came up.
Okay, perfect. As you open the hole, make a perception check for me.
That was not 20 for a second. Perception, that's a 15.
15. Okay. Now, whether you would react to this or not, it's completely up to you, but you do see them. There's a small bag, a little satchel that has a little card on it that says, "For the Pie Lady." And then an envelope that says, "For William and the crew."
Highly. I'm guessing that's Kenku talking about a delivery that needs to be made. So William will probably be feeling charitable in the moment. We'll take the satchel for the Pie Lady and then the letter.
You realize who the Pie Lady is, don't you? Do you not remember how Grendel greeted?
No. I was pretty drunk that day, so. I was pretty drunk.
Roll a history check. Sorry, I didn't mean to DM, but
No, you're good.
It's a 24.
Grendel brought a pie down when we were introducing people, when we were opening the door. She brought down...
Oh, yeah, William was definitely still in his zone. He definitely did not pick up on that. Absolutely. But I guess that will be like a lingering thought in the back of his mind as he's running around with the satchel on his back, trying to find whoever this Pie Lady is supposed to be. Shit.
In the thick envelope, are five copper plates and a small letter inside from Byler the Butcher that says, "I pulled some strings. These are some provisional hunting licenses for the city of Grand Soren. Welcome to the Grim."
Hunting licenses.
So you,
Fuck yeah.
you are now sanctioned monster hunters, so there won't be any taxes or fees on any out of state purchases. So
Fuck yeah. All right.
but yeah, with the copper plates, you are limited to what you can take as far as your quarry is concerned.
No over poaching. Got it.
Yeah. So
gotta maintain the ecosystem.
So there you go. But yeah, as you go through, you learn the knock to go through, and a bright-eyed Kenku meets you at the door. As she rolls it up, she goes, "Not morning, it's night. Go to bed. Sleep tight."
You go to bed. I have some things I need to take care of.
They walk off with their little lit lantern. And then just starts like zoomies.
I love this.
Knocking over trash cans on the way.
Yeah.
I love it. Leaving the letter on the butcher's table in the back, the hole, in case anybody does come looking for him. He's gonna make his way firstly to his home.
What time would you say it is by the time you make it there? You also notice this. Where you've been sailing is very meridian, tropical even. Grand Soren, there's a chill. And as you're walking the streets, the wind blows and crisp leaves are falling from the trees. It is now gone from summer to frostfall, which is autumn.
This would be his immediate first stop, and I believe we established that his home is not that far away from the Baylor's shop in Cleaver. So
no, yeah, it's an easy walk.
Yeah. This is still going to be before sunrise. He's just gonna find a park bench nearby, just watch the house for a little bit.
And I'm
Run
sorry.
through scenarios.
Did you say what time it was?
I would say probably about 4. What time is sunrise in Grand Soren? 7?
In autumn, it'll probably be pushing 7. Yeah.
Okay. So this would probably be around 5:30ish. He would just be sitting outside on a park bench nearby, just running through scenarios in his head of how he could take his life back. Just wondering what she's been up to this whole time, these past near 2 decades.
Mm.
And he would remain there for at least until close to 7, when he knows Thornagold or Hornigold would usually rise for his duties, and then get up and make his way about the city, trying to track down an arcanist or somebody that can fix my shit.
There are a few people that wander about. a few beggars, some drunks on their way home. There is a couple guards doing their rounds, but they don't seem to pay you much mind. And as 5:30, 5:45 rolls around, a familiar smell begins to rise from the smokestack of your home. A fresh baked breakfast cake and coffee. And as you peer through the wrought iron gate that closes in your front garden, the lamps light, and you see the silhouette of Morgan dancing around the home, preparing various things for the day ahead. She wipes the windows. Roll a perception check for her. And doesn't stop. Nothing catches her eyes in the dark streets of Grand Soren. As there's a mage from the magisterium in the green and blue robes, the silver trimming, and a red undercoat, walking the streets, unlighting the lamps as the sun rises. Where are you off to?
See someone about fixing an enchanted tourist.
Okay. So where would you go first? Let me pull up my Grand Soren document here.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm not anticipating that. All right. Keep me on my toes.
Yeah, sorry. William really wants his vest back. My fucking AC right now is a 16. I don't like it. I'm not wearing any armor.
So the crystal chalice would be one of the more reputable magic places. You can also go to Lantern Lane, and there's lots of different back alleys, sort of arcanists there. But it's up to you which route you would like to go.
Oh,
or something mid-tier.
There's crystal chalices. I'm sure strictly adheres to the regulations of the magisterium, so that's out of the question. I'm going to look for something that has either connections to the Scarlet Brotherhood or the Thieves Guild.
So, Lantern Lane it is.
As much as I'm probably going to regret dealing with them, they are probably going to be the best reliable help. Hey, at least it's not the Myriad.
Okay, so
What's wrong with the Myriad?
You find at the beggar's bottom a small, a small shop, cluttered, just floor to ceiling, with all sorts of just junk and cupboards and weird drawings and just stuff shoved everywhere, like a hoarder's nest almost. And you come across a small gnomish individual. As the shop opens, little bell chimes. Smells of old books and just a musty, almost mold in here. Oh, good morning. Welcome. Welcome. What can I do for you?
Even morning. I have equipment I need repairs done too. Need to
Repairs. Okay. All right. What sort of equipment are we looking at?
He'll pull out the curious from his pack, sets it on the countertop first. And,
Holy shit.
wanna-
Oh, there's nothing left.
can you fix it?
Are those bite marks?
I got fucked up pretty good last night.
Oh, goodness. Hopefully nowhere close to here. Interesting.
What do you think, mate? Can you fix it?
Oh, yes, anything's fixable. The question is it worth it?
How much is it going to charge?
Until I really assess the damage. I don't know, honestly. I can't give you a entirely... let's see. A job like this for the assessment would be 50 gold for the assessment, and then we'll see how devastating damage is to your loincloth here.
It's a curious, mate.
It's supposed to be interesting. Of
That
course,
being said,
to guilds in the city, then there's special guild rates and all that sort of hullabaloo bullshit. Yes, of course.
you happen to have any favor with the Brotherhood of a Red Kind? And as he's saying that, he too would be looking around, making sure. He wouldn't just openly say that.
He takes out a small wand, waves it, and a few flicks, and the Scarlet Brotherhood symbol burns into a spot in front of you before dissipating. And you feel your brand pulse. Of that variety. Welcome, brother. Now, don't worry about the assessment charge. What can we do here? You can watch, or you can stay here and wait and peruse. He grabs it and takes it to a back room.
Before that, now that I am a little more confident in your skills, he's gonna gingerly and carefully with a cloth unhitch the Sea King's Fang from his waist belt and set it on the countertop as well. This was also damaged in the calamity as well, mate.
Sets that over to one side. Now, what do we have here? Do you know what material this is made out of?
When I found it, it was wood. It likes to change shape depending on who's wielding it.
It's nothing like anything I've seen. He takes a little ocular device, looks at it. Interesting. You said you were engaged with something last evening.
Aye, it was trying to consume anything magical, it seems. And it got these.
It would appear that it mostly succeeded. This blade is mithril and it does not tarnish, but it is beginning to corrode.
What?
There is still weave in it, but attempting to repair such damage is going to be near impossible for my skill. And you're probably not very keen on taking this to a magisterium employee, I'm assuming. I'll do what I can, but I make no promises on this.
All right. You have any scrying spell scrolls for sale?
Oh, yes, should be over in that corner over there. Just 3 stacks down underneath the ledger and just left of the apothecary acumen there. Yes.
How much for 3?
3. Scry. Let me see. This 150. That minus only 200 gold for all 3 of those. Special guild rate, of course.
I'll take it, mate. And do you have any standing work that need any requisition orders I can fulfill? I'm in need of work for my crew.
None have come across my desk recently. Of course, there's always any sort of magical artifacts of interest or any information that could lead to any sort of large hoards of treasure, things like that. Of course, you know the whole deal. And all of that information is to be sent to Three Barrel Cove, assigned to Pirate Lord Balasar, I to understand these days. So.
No fucking way. That motherfucker visited me and he's a pirate lord? This son of a bitch. I love it. William definitely looking shocked because if I recall, he didn't mention about being a pirate lord. Am I remembering correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fucking wild. All right. Yeah, William would look a little surprised by that information, but nonetheless,
he's making quite a name for himself. Although, have you heard about his expedition in the southwest, where the story I'm sure you're familiar with, where he tied his men to the rocks and at low tide and let the tide take care of them for him? That's one of the first things that he did to establish dominance. I heard that was a rumor from a very reliable source, that is. So I'm very curious as how he became a pirate lord. Yes, you see, there's just with these rumors, I'm digging more into it. There's more information coming out about Balasar these days than I've heard in years, but it seems to be all corroborated, unfortunately.
would William have recollection of this instance? Or was this before his time with, or after his time with
This would have been before William's time.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. How much time are you gonna need with that? At least the curious first.
Oh, it should take me about 10 minutes to assess it and try to find whatever strings are left in there and see about tying them back together. I'll have to, I think I have enough bolts of fabric and leather in here to tie them together. So give me about 2 hours and I should have something for you, whether it's information or progress, one of the two. What do you want to do? And he takes a little pencil and kind of taps on the seeking string. What do you want to do about this? I can try to work something on it, but again, I make no promises. I've never seen Mithril act this way. I haven't seen very much of it, but this is unnatural.
Go ahead and do what you can with it. Tell me what you learn. I'll be back in a few hours.
Very well.
With that, he will make his way back to the butcher shop with the scrolls in hand and return to the ship, back to his quarters. For the time being.
As you do, you see a handsome gentleman, hair length or shoulder length hair, a very nicely trimmed mustache and goatee. A white shirt, a black vest. He's sitting with his feet on your desk and a drink in hand. Oh, good. You're back. Been waiting for you. I should have brought you a better bottle of whatever this is. Instead, I brought you a bushel of apples. I don't know what you like. Not yet, anyways. So, I didn't want to come empty-handed. He gets up. Pleasure to meet you.
Who the fuck are you, mate? Why are you in my desk?
Straight to business, I see. Well, I think we have a mutual acquaintance that is no longer around, unfortunately. My name is Ryzon. The individual I am talking about is our dear late Dravis. Masterful work with him, by the way. So, you've been busy?
Aye. You took something of mine.
Took. That just insinuates some very nasty things. I like to think of it as collecting. I collect all sorts of things. Favors, memories, and I think we have something in common. The currency of souls. Now, I don't like to mess very much with that. Very boring. Souls. There's much more interesting things to collect. Stories. reputations. You see, since you're right down to business, I am part of a very secret organization that doesn't really like you very much, unfortunately. Now, I think I like you just fine. I've been watching for quite some time. And what I've seen so far is just beautiful, masterful. They are not happy with you, though. So it's down to me to sully your good name. It's not something I want to do, mind you. But perhaps I can save what face you have, and you can give me something that I need.
Who do you work for?
I'm a free agent, or at least I like to think so. I belong to a few different groups. But in the end, they're all to service my own purposes.
Sorry, mate. You said I pissed off this individual. I have a long list of enemies. You care to elaborate on who specifically wants me?
Yes.
Gone.
They don't want you dead or anything. They just... They want you to disappear from history itself. Very nasty business. You see, you're wrecking their plans. They had some very long-laid things happening in Embershard, and a group of mercenaries, as the story goes, came into town and destroyed all of it. Now, what am I supposed to put in the papers? Whose faces? Because they're calling Embershard a terrorist attack. So it's up to you. Are you the heroes that stepped in? Or will your faces adorn the cities of Grand Soren as wanted men and women? Now, it's a simple price to pay. Just trinkets, honestly. Small pieces of amber gem. You do that,
Hey,
you can have your life back. I can make Warminster Vane forget. Just like that.
say I don't go along with this fucking plan, mate. And you published that story.
And you force my hand, unfortunately, yes.
How long do you think that story will stick when the people of Emmershot come knocking at your gates?
People of Embershard. Poor people of Embershard. So distraught. So in shock from everything that's happened to them. Poor wee babes. The stories stick. It hasn't been printed yet. You can still change the story. It all just depends on what sort of deal you want to make. And, of course, I mean, you seem awfully tied to these trinkets. So if that's your answer, I don't really have any more business here. I'll just progress with plans in Grand Soren. And you can be sure that I will come to collect one way or another. Now, again, this is not something I want, all right? Absolutely not. I'm a collector of things. A connoisseur of fine wines and beverages. Do you like cheese? I can get you some very fine cheese.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't I meet this individual in Embershard, or was it a different face?
This was the same face if you saw him. This was the guy that was going around taking
He
notes.
asked me a few questions, and I kind of told him to fuck off.
Yeah.
What was your name again? Shiton? Crapon? Raison.
Raison, yes.
Tell me, when your ivory walls come crashing around, and I'm there to shine the sunlight upon you, where will you scurry next when I take everything from you? You can try and take these Amber Paragons, but I promise you, it's not going to go the way that you plan.
It's adorable that you think I scurry in the dark. I live in the light. So I have your answer then.
It sounds like your plans and my plans don't really align, so...
That is unfortunate. I was hoping for something perhaps a little better. A deal. But, let's see, where did he put that? Here it is. And he digs under some of your stuff and pulls out a planted port crystal. Well, I won't be needing this anymore. Thank you, and enjoy the apples. I truly wish that had gone better. The Midnight Court will not be pleased with you or me, but mostly with you.
So tempted to try and shoot him in the face. Probably would have disappeared before I even got the chance. You know what? Yeah, I think he'll go do a quick draw, try and fire, get a shot off. We'll see. No, that's a 5 plus 9, 14. Doubt that will hit.
Not quick enough.
Yeah. Pulls out Alexandria because he couldn't carry his Ivara or fucking Nadia with him. So yeah, Alexandria comes out, fires off a round. Misses. Fuck. Whippy little shit. I knew I recognized his ass. Yeah, so yeah, the ship just hears a fucking gunshot in Captain's quarters. Another Tuesday afternoon with William in his quarters.
Yeah, pretty much. A few of the deckhands maybe flinch from the suddenness of it, but just kind of continue.
go about their business.
Yeah, like check themselves to make sure that they're not the ones being shot. And...
I got everybody on edge. Shit.
So, the day progresses. Is there any orders of business that anyone would like to do as we continue to make repairs to the Pale Lady and sail Everford to Nen? Okay, cool.
Call a quick quick meeting, council meeting, to bring up the visitation of Ryzon to the ship. See if anybody else has encountered him and has any more in-depth experience with him. Mind you, I would assume that conversation took at least 2-3 minutes.
Yes.
What did I learn about him? In comparison to myself.
What do you want to learn from him?
Let's go with how much would you give me? 3? Know your enemy?
What is it? Is it 2 or 3?
Well, it takes a minute to learn a specific detail. So
okay,
yeah, if I can get. Okay, I'll take total class levels, if any, inferior, superior, or equal. Let's take dexterity and hit points.
Okay, I'll write these down and get them to you over the break. Dex,
Boom.
Hit points, and what was the other thing? Class levels.
Class levels, yeah.
Okay.
If any.
Okay.
Yeah, bringing up the visitation and the fact that there was a port crystal stashed in his quarters. Do it. Just basically wanting a thorough search of the ship to make sure that there's no other hidden surprises aboard the ship.
Gotcha.
Ooh, Ryzon. You cheeky bitch. Oh, and also bring up the fact that we may be now named as terrorists of the state of the sovereign.
It's always fun.
And then what level spell is scrying? That is a 5th level spell, so I need 3 of those.
Okay, so as sailing progresses, what are Grendel, Xenia, and Millie doing with their day? If nothing, if they're just trying to rest and get some chill, that is totally fine. We can move through our day.
I would say you'd probably see the change of attire in Grendel. All of her dresses have been ripped pretty short for the most part. Kind of more trying. Her hair is no longer down her back, just covered in flowers. It is now pulled up in braids and pinned up with a singular with bluebells interwoven in her hair. And she would probably just take her time going through everything, checking every cannon, making any repairs that need done, any heavy lifting. She really has not spoken this much in the past few days. She's more just kind of kept to herself and just processing all that has really happened recently.
So a quiet day for Grendel as she moves around the ship. What about Xenia?
Remind me what type of wood the ship is mostly made out of.
Well, anymore.
It is wood though, right?
Yes. Yeah, it is a petrified brylark tree.
Oh, it's petrified. Never mind. He was considering. Oh, well, he would have attempted this anyways because he does not know any better. But the planks of wood that look suspiciously as if they would almost fall off, he would have attempted to druidcraft like them to sprout branches or vines in hopes that it would like help cement it to the wall that it was originally attached to. But finding that if that did not work, he would try his best to make himself useful to any other crew members that might need assistance. And every now and then, he's just talking very quietly to Rico about, "Oh, you should have been underwater with me. It was quite pretty. It's a shame it was so dark and I couldn't breathe very well. But it's a new environment, and I suppose that is what would happen." And it's just like an endless stream of just speaking out loud as he's working on otherwise menial tasks.
I love it.
At least my bracers are fine.
Millie, anything for you as the day moves on?
Lee? You there, buddy? There you are. No? Yes?
Nope.
You there? Can you hear us?
Lee.
Millie.
There, buddy?
Millie.
hear us?
Millie. Millie.
Okay.
There we are.
No,
There we are.
mic broke, so
Oh
I
no.
want to look at getting a new one here at some point if I can afford it. But what was the question? I'm sorry. I was trying to fix my vocals.
Oh, anything for you throughout the day as we progress.
Throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
He's just getting cards prepared, just doing last minute funeral rites. What's the morale looking like on the ship?
Not great.
Not good.
Honestly.
Not good.
I mean, you could make it a kind of an insight check to nail it down, but I mean, off the bat, not great.
But that's technically not how. And we're still repairing the ship.
It is nearing completion. Actually, as good as it's going to get. So, yeah.
So Millie is going to. Let me roll for a fuck to give from Millie first. So Millie is going to stand on, I guess, the steps leading up to the helm halfway, and he'll just call out how would he say this? For a bunch of sailors at sea, you all act like a bunch of bitches. Fix your attitudes. You made it through the worst of many storms that we have ahead of ourselves. This is not the time to be in your feelings. This is not the time to be homesick. For these are the times that we are at our most vulnerable, and we need to be, as you seafaring lads say, tip-top shape so we can make it home. So in regards to that, Miller's going to hold his first ever open gamba hole in the galley, or in the mess area. What I will do is I'll provide the games and I'll provide the food. All I ask is that once you're done with your task, once you're done with your jobs for today, those who wish to make a little money, and I'll even throw in, and Millie reaches into his pockets. Next time we port into town, whatever you want, item wise, it's going to be on me. And hopefully, Millie could roll something to assist with the persuasion of trying to build in morale as well as open a, I guess, all is welcome gambling event later this evening.
Yeah, roll me would that be performance?
I can do performance. I can do persuasion. I'm not deceiving people. If you want me to sleight of hand somebody, I can do that too.
Let's go with performance.
Okay. That's a 9
with advantage.
Ooh, nice. So dirty 20.
Ooh.
So that's 9 plus 11, I think. Yeah.
You hear these words going out, and wherever people are on the ship, below, above, they hear it. William, if you're in your quarters as well, you hear this, but not as if it was being shouted outside, as if it was being transmitted straight into your head.
I forgot about that. Whoops. Forgot that was a thing. Well, I didn't even know that was a thing. Shit.
Surprise.
Yeah.
As the days goes on, morale seems to rise, and the men seem to work faster, pull harder.
Miller's gonna go around with his crow doing a collection pot, and he'll just say, first place winner aside from me gets the winnings.
already declaring himself a winner. I like it. Like, no one's beating me, so whoever's up next.
Yeah, and then Millie, what he'll do is he'll openly put 1,000 gold into the pot to kind of
How much gold does Millie have?
Millie is a gambler. Okay, I'll just leave it at that.
God damn.
So yeah, he'll make that known, and he will continue to repair the no. Would Millie know where William is right now?
Hasn't left his quarters.
Shit. Millie's gonna find Xenia. Yeah, that's a safer bet. Yeah. He's going to approach Xenia, obnoxious as possibly could be, and ask, so you and the other officers, did y'all have some bad blood with those creatures that were attacking us before?
Which ones?
Those little dirty things that, well, one was a little vulgar with, I guess, the captain's things at some point with scooting and whatnot, but I think they're called Mephits. Yeah.
Well, considering I was underwater on the back of a dragon for most of that fight, I do not recall seeing them. I do recall someone's wing getting ripped off. Maybe it was one of them, but
oh, not them. Shit.
It
One of those.
was.
not those. What were those things called? The ooze like arachnid people.
Oh, oh yes. No, we've had dealings with him before. It's a bit of a sensitive topic. A more recurrent enemy, I suppose you could say. They are the bad guys, quite obviously, and I do not say that lightly. Usually, there is some form of redemption, yes, but not in this case. If they are being controlled,
So
sometimes.
that little doohickey on your fist there. They were more interested in that than getting rid of you. Any recollection that I could understand, since I guess I'm one of the newly promoted officers under William and, well, I guess his entourage. That's a safe way to put it.
Well, I suppose.
I'm mostly asking
Consider
because safety for me, of course, but I need to know if I'm about to die trying to fight for a cause that could maybe kill me.
Mhm.
consider this: if you knew there was something in this world that could end you as quickly or more quickly than something else, if you encountered that thing in a battle, would you not go for that first and try to destroy it? That seems to have been the thought of those creatures we combated.
Hmm. Touche. Well, I'll keep in touch if it's all right. But hey, don't know if you heard, running a little gamble, soiree, as you seafaring folks say. Am I right? And he tries to nudge you with his elbow to your shoulder. No, not the fun type, I take.
Xenia just has a blank look, and he's just like, "What does soiree mean?"
You know, you and I are going to get quite along very well. Just once we get the ship up and running, I'm gonna see if Grendel can, I guess, be the muscle. Gonna need somebody to help with the winnings and keep people from fighting. But yeah, just come down, enjoy a little morale boost with us, and uh, yeah, Millie's just gonna slide off to the right in a comical fashion down to the underdecks where Grendel may be.
If all of her chores are done for the day, Grendel is probably sitting on her cot that's just sitting in the middle of the room surrounded by broken furniture, and she has her bag of trinkets laid out, and
Mhm.
she is just kind of going through all of them.
Hmm. Knock, knock.
Come in.
He's gonna attempt to open the door because a lot of things are maybe in the way.
You probably will have like a drawer that is like kind of near the hinge of the door, and like a few chair legs or bed frame pieces. Just they're probably. I will say she has been in and out of the room, so she probably would have like pushed the majority of it out of the way. But you probably would open the door and it would suddenly stop, maybe like
Mm.
2/3 away open, and as it's being stopped by destroyed furniture.
I take it you're not a gambling woman.
The only kind of gambling I have been good at is arm wrestling, but I really don't have the gold to participate, so I really don't feel like things right now. I'd rather just focus on the mission at hand and get going.
All work and no play make Jack a dull boy.
My
Never
name
heard
is
that
not
saying
Jack, it is
before?
Grendel.
Yeah, fair enough. But a lot of others look up to you for strength. Can't always be all work and little relaxation. You need time to rest. Have a good time. I understand you need your space, but there's a little well, I can't do that anymore. Let's see. There's a little game activities that we're doing in the mess hall. If you're interested, we would love for you to come down and partake in the festivities to help build morale. Just don't tell Ogner that we're going to use whatever his buddy's name is. I think it was Aro. Uh, we're going to turn him into like a little
Disco ball?
not pig the not pig the tail on the donkey, but more so it's like putting something on him, but you have to be quick enough to not have him see you. You get what I mean there? Yeah.
I thought you were going to turn him into a slot machine.
I was thinking about it, but I don't think slot machines exist in this time frame, let alone tacos. I was a little upset about that. But yeah, you should definitely come by. I would love to have your muscles, mostly because I'm offering a nice little shopping spree on yours truly. But at the same token, the winnings is 1,000 gold pieces that I've put in among others that have so kindly donated at the next port.
Grendel will start picking up the trinkets one by one as she places them back in the bag. The last one being the Emerald Lotus, as she kind of brushes her fingers over the petals and she places it in her bag.
Out of curiosity, DM, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You keep going.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Have we all seen each other's memories or visions, as well as emotions, or no?
In what time frame?
When Grendel was going on a rampage in her room.
Yeah, so you would have heard that, but it would have been your voice saying it. So, I mean, yeah, you could probably deduce that some of these things are out of character for you, so much so that they would they would count as someone else's emotions.
I do a little bit of card reading, and if you're interested, I'm not trying to persuade you or tie your hands, but
does it give answers or some kind of an answer?
Yes. It offers clarity to those that seek the truth, as well as what tomorrow could potentially hold for not only yourself, but everybody else.
No, considering that things have been very unpredictable. Perhaps I will take you up on one of these card readings.
Well, if you rest assured, one of the card readings that I had made sure that I was right. The ship was going to stay afloat. And then Millie's going to give you the Millie thumbs up and then proceed to slide to the next screen in front of William's door.
Before he leaves, she will finish packing the last of her things. She goes, if you need me to be there to make sure people do not fight, I will be there. If anyone starts arguments, I will put them in air jail.
Huh, you got me stumped on that one. All right.
Where you just pick them up, like by the back of the collar, and then you just hold them there, and they just sit there, and they just fight until they get tired.
Air jail. I like your style. Yeah, we'll definitely have you down there for air jail for sure.
I learned it from catching the cats in Papa's brewery.
Hate cats.
I love kitty cats.
Flashback to Millie having an infatuation of cats. And then last but not least, and then I'll cut to someone else. Knock, knock on the captain's quarter.
You hear the cocking of the hammer of Ivara.
Ugh.
You make it known that it's you, or do you you just knock quietly?
I'm trying to figure out how many will respond to that.
William's a little paranoid.
Hey,
right
Captain.
now.
I don't know if you want to do that, but rest assured, you don't want to shoot your trump card on the ship.
Is that really you?
I mean, I'm as real as I am. Well, real. How can I prove that I'm real to you?
Ah, fuck it. Come in, Mike.
Ah, sweet. Okay, I don't have to get shot this time. Hey, Captain, how's it going? I see. You look well now.
What day is it?
Ooh. Shit, Dungeon Master. What day is it actually? How many days at sea have we been? You are currently muted, my bearded love.
Thank you. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
All right, let's boot. That is going to be a whopping 9.
Okay. To your knowledge, since Fort Grimshale, it's been about 2. And from Rivermouth Pier, it's probably been about 5 or 6 days, so almost a full week.
Long enough to know that you're tired. About a week, give or take, but you seem drained and you seem that you have a lot on your mind. There's a little mixer that I'm hosting in the mess hall if you're interested to bless us with your presence. A little bit of game, cards, maybe some dice or bones. And then who knows, you may win the lucky sack, and he jiggles the bag of coin in his hand. So far got 1,000 gold and some change, but figured I'd offer Captain to be among his crew to enjoy some fun activities after a stressful near-death experience on all of us and for those that have been lost.
There is a fast patter of feet outside the hallway as Xenia comes rounding the corner, looking more frazzled than when you just saw him, Millie. As he says, "Captain, there is something not right." And he's carrying his navigational chart in his hand, which Millie could deduce after you had just spoken to him. He had gone back just to check on their heading and how far away they were. But something is not adding up. And it feels like they've missed something somewhere. And he tells William, "I do not think the day it should be is the day that it is. I've been looking at our position, and I don't like the sea. I really don't. It's very confusing. There's no landmarks. But the sky in the horizon is not as it should be if we were continuing on the same course that we were and making the time that we should. I do not think that it's the day."
Come, let me see what you're talking about. And pull out his astrogation charts.
Is Xenia being loud enough for Grendel to be able to hear this from her room at all?
Probably he left the door to Williams open.
All right, I will say, upon hearing the panic in Xenia's voice, Grendel probably would have just silently merged in. She'd be standing in the doorway.
All three of you would have, at least definitely Xenia and Grendel, you guys would have noticed every time you guys approach or come through his threshold, he does kind of jump and reaches for his pistol.
You're okay, buddy. It's okay. You're okay.
But realizing who it is, and hearing the loss of time, and he too feeling this missing period of time in his own mind, he pulls out his own navigation charts and sets it on the table, bidding Xenia to put his charts next to his to compare information and see where we possibly could have gotten lost.
Grendel will silently just look over the maps over everyone's shoulder.
All right.
I know we have lost time, but I don't think we should have lost this much time.
How much time did we lose?
At least a day.
How did we lose time? I thought time just passes as it always should. Or are we lost?
I mean,
it's almost it feels like it's been erased. I don't know.
There are stories out in the wilds in which a veil between our world and those of perhaps a fae are thin and merged together. Some people walk over a mushroom circle and we don't hear about them for several years, but I did not know there was such phenomenon out here in the sea.
DM, does Grendel recognize anything at all on these navigation charts? I can't hear you. You're muted.
You guys are doing such good roleplay. I don't have to talk. Which ones are you?
Anything that might be showing the night sky.
Okay. William, you have star charts, don't you?
I got the updated star charts that gave me advantage on navigation checks.
I have no idea how navigation works, so I don't know if there's going to be star charts out or anything. So you have to hold my hand on this.
That's how sailors navigate the seas using.
That's what I figured. I just didn't want to pretend like I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah. There's a few different ones, and the ones that are out are more like topographical maps and things like that. But underlying all of that are some star charts that are kind of dug out when the stars are indeed out in the evening and at night.
Do any of them look like the constellation that she remembered in her dream that she has drawn?
Mm-hmm.
Grendel will go into one of her other pouches where she keeps a bunch of her now drawings that she has been collected, very crude crayon drawings. Mm-hmm. And she unfolds a piece of paper of what looks like a crudely colored night sky and the serpent constellation with the bright star on the tip of the fang. And she goes, I don't really exactly know what this means, but I've been having a lot of memories as of late of my real mama and papa, and apparently from what I could remember, they traveled around a lot, but there was one thing I dreamed about, and it was this right here, and she will place the paper down over the maps. This apparently was what was used to guide sailors in some direction as I pull out my notes. Give me a moment. Elevator music. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm scrolling down. I have so many. So she like kind of just points to it and she goes, "This apparently was what my real father said. What guided sailors through treacherous waters. I don't know if this is anything similar, but she will point to the bright star on the tip of the fang, and she said, "This apparently was the star that they would always follow. I don't know anything about this, but I figured if like this has to do with stars, maybe in sailing, then I don't know, maybe it could help."
Thank you, Randall.
Anything to get closer to my Helene. I don't have time to waste in these waters. If we are losing time, I am losing time to get to her. So let's get this shit figured out.
So, looking over these maps, William would take the time to plot the course or plot where the ship should be, and then do some reverse math to try and calculate where they are currently are at with the lost time. So,
with everything on the table, and both you and Xenia working on this, go ahead and roll me a navigation check for me.
The first time I get to use the skill, yes! 18, and then I'm going to take that 18 because that second roll was a 3. 18 plus 5, 23.
And then over the course of the minute, the Millie's going to be pulling out a set of dice.
Okay.
And he is basically casting Augury to see within the next 30 minutes what's going to happen. Whether it's weal for good, woe for bad, weal and woe for both good and bad, or nothing happens.
Okay.
Or laying out ornate cards. There we go. Okay, there we go. So
what was the check total?
23 for navigation.
Beautiful. You find that you are about 2 miles drifted off course. You're headed in the same direction you were towards Nen, and it's easily fixable to readjust your heading towards where you need to be.
Okay. Now for
go for it.
How much off? Either starboard or port sign? Which 2 miles off starboard, 2 miles off port.
Drifted west 2 miles,
and we were heading northeast.
You're headed northwest.
Northwest. That's right. So we're off west, so that'd be starboard side. So yeah. Okay. Cool. Shout out from the captain's quarters to one of the crew members to tell Ogner to make the adjustment, and try to see if there. Does this feel like we lost time through some other unnatural means, or is this just some sort of like natural off drifting from sailing for an extended period of time. I would imagine with this crew, we'd be fairly seasoned to be able to normally stay on track, but
Yeah, normally you would readjust and avoid getting blown off course by stray winds or anything like that. This seems like that. It seems
okay.
like it doesn't seem like something moved you, like some sort of
Aside from the battle, probably.
yeah.
So I guess that would count for that. Okay.
It's almost like you stopped sailing for a moment.
Mm. Okay.
And it was just allowed to
I mean, yeah. I mean, we repairs were the most important, so it kind of makes sense. But we needed to double time it at this point. Yeah. So yeah, standing orders, full sail. Make up for the lost time, and that's it.
Go ahead and roll me a ship handling check with the +8 from Ogner.
27.
27.
Yep.
Ogner takes a long drag of a cigar. Aye, Captain. Readjust course. You find the favorable wind, which fills the sails of the Pale Lady as it lurches forward at the fastest pace it's gone since leaving Grimshale. The camera pans off of Ogner back up into the sky, and that's where we'll go to break and hopefully return for some good old-fashioned Millie fun in the galley on our way to Nen, our
buddy,
most desired destination.
Yeah.
We'll be back just after this.
Motivation isn't in the...
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good break, and we're excited to jump in to this next little segment. But before we do, we're going to see what we've got coming up this next week. Let's see, what week is it? We are still in August, pretty well into it. So next week, we got Tuesday, Edge of the Empire, correct?
Indubitably, good sir.
Perfect.
Now that Oz is back, we should be able to continue the adventure of Core Atlas on the planet known as Cholgana, a heavily, densely forested planet inhabited by the wildlife known as Nexu, a giant spider kitty with needle fangs, big mouth. It does not pet. It
does not
pet.
So that's this Tuesday coming up. We are still on hiatus with Dimensional Dial, but not for too much longer. We're coming to the end of August, so tune in first week of September, and we'll have Dimensional Dial for you once again. Super excited to come back tentatively. So maybe don't get your hopes up. I don't know. Get your hopes up. Do what you want.
Fingers crossed that things go according to plan. But yeah.
But as we know, plans don't always go. But hopefully this one will. And then next week, coming back with another Tales of Vardin to follow up on whatever happens after this. So that's what we got next week. Anybody need any promos? I know William or Tarzan, you're doing games.
On startplaying.games. If you would like to commission me for your own personal adventures in Star Wars, in the Star Wars universe, feel free to reach out and find me on startplaying.games. I run individual adventure modules, so more of a condensed experience. I also run one-shots for only $5. That is a great segue into learning how the Edge of the Empire system works, and I only charge $5 for that. And I provide stock characters for you to play, so you can choose which type of character you would like to play. I do all the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is play and learn. Find me at startplaying.games /GM/Tarzan82855, and let's get an adventure going, shall we? Other than that, we also have plenty of other people that should also self-promo. Chris. Self-promo.
I'm a potter. I make cool stuff. You should go check out my website, claybeardstudio.com. And if you can or want to buy some stuff,
Buddy.
I also am open for some special orders.
10 out of 10 would recommend. I just received my husband's birthday gift, and he absolutely loves it. And let me tell you, this man does take the time to get the details, and I love it. Just chef's kiss all around. Yes. 10 out of 10. Live review. Nerdy Pink Girl.
But those need to be in by let's see, the end of September, first day of October. There are no more. So if you email me and say, hey, I really need this, I'm sorry, it's going to have to be a no, or we'll try next year or over the winter. So those open back up in January. So that's just to make sure I get all of my stuff done for the holidays and get everybody their stuff on time. But yeah, anyone else, remember to check out all these lovely people on the social medias. They do amazing work, whether it's cosplay or makeup or thirst traps or whatever. There are a lot of really cool, fun people to hang out with and follow and see how they develop as human beings. So it's awesome to see them all journey along.
Speaking of awesome, I just realized I still have studded leather from when I first started this goddamn campaign.
There you go.
So I still have armor, baby. Let's go.
Nice.
It's gonna be so sad. He just reluctantly puts the shit back on.
Oh man.
I'm gonna miss my fucking Curia so bad.
How bad does it smell? That's the question.
Yeah.
I think he was still alive when by the time he put that Curious on.
Yeah, but since then, that poor William has been strewn through fucking pig pens and bullshit. Has he washed the leather at all?
This leather hasn't been through the shit yet. This other was when he first joined the party. Then he got the curious and died, and yeah, that's when he, you know. So the Splinter's curious is definitely the one that's gone through the shit. This, however, is pristine.
Screw it.
It's barely seen any combat. Good
We
times, guys.
we return to the beggar's bottle as the door chimes. Yes, I'll be with you one moment. Good of the magisterium to grace my humble shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen? And he takes the curtain and kind of moves it across. Oh, just perusing your wares today, Florian. Do you happen to have that report from last month's earnings? Just wanted to look over what you repaired and sold, make sure it got back to the proper people this time. I assure you all of my accounts are in order. Please come this way. He whispers something, and a small little rat-like creature moves through the stacks of books and things and back into the back room. And that's where we'll return to the Pale Lady as
That's
Millie's
why I bought that
Funhouse.
fucking scrying pet spell. I had a feeling.
Millie's Galley Surprise.
For starters, I am going to spend a minute to cast Walk with Familiar, so I have 3 more Spectral Ravens. And I'm getting a full 360 perimeter of the mess hall with surveillance camera threats.
So we got the music going, so it distorted your audio. Keep the audio going. We just gotta let it settle in before his audio clarifies.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and try and say that again, Xavier.
There you go.
There.
Yeah. I am taking the time to do the cast of Flock of Familiars, so that way not only 1, but total of 4 ravens are my eyes throughout the entirety of the mess hall.
Okay. All right.
Surveillance.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then Millie's going to announce, welcome to the Gamble Hall, as we'll call it now. Rules of the games. You can play, but any funny business, and he points over to Grendel. She's going to kindly assist you into the air with air gel.
Grendel is just kind of standing against the wall. Again, her hair is just up. She kind of just has like a very serious look on her face. Her arms are crossed, her shoulder, like just basic bouncer style, like posing. She's just like looking at everybody, and then turns back to Millie for him to continue.
Out of curiosity, how much donations were applied on top of the 1,000 gold that I put in?
So you were able to collect 125 gold on top of that. So the pot is 1125.
Sweet.
Xenia, are you participating or in the galley while this is happening, or?
I will be watching because I do not actually know how gambling works.
Okay.
And part of me likes to think it's because Xenia has tried to learn games, and when bluffing is involved, his insight is so high, he just calls him out on it, and it doesn't make for a very fun game.
I love it. So
You need to see
what
that.
are your surface thoughts while this is beginning? There's all these sailors are crowded in here. The 2 Myconids that had joined your crew from Grimshill are in this place, usually tucked back into the more shaded corners of the galley, watching as well. So what would be Xenia's surface thoughts throughout this?
There's a lot of people in here. It's very loud in here. But it's interesting how much, like, Games and gold bring people together, so that's good, at least. Hopefully there's no fighting. I don't think the ship can withstand much more.
Grendel, surface thoughts.
Grendel, she's probably kind of like calmed down a bit more, but she still is kind of dealing with that aftermath sort of emotional wave, or almost maybe even emotional. I don't want to say exhaustion because she's been doing her best to get well rested. It's just kind of, I think, that emotional fatigue that follows with that kind of rage.
Yeah.
And she, granted, she usually tends to be a bit of an airhead. I would say she is actively like just kind of keeping a lookout for things, making sure there is no trouble, just kind of on a whole no bullshit kind of stance at this point.
Okay.
There's a lot of dangerous shit that's been happening and it's been getting in the way of things, and she is pretty much just like, she's like, I can't afford shit to keep going south. Like, so she is currently just taking things very seriously, and
Gotcha.
just again, just very quiet and just doing what she was asked to do by Millie.
Okay. Millie, well, surface thoughts for you.
Gonna win big.
Okay. William, I need roll me a d20 and add 2, please.
21.
21. Okay. What are your surface thoughts?
It's about time. Let's check in. See what's the status of my ship.
Okay.
Curious. So, it's mainly focused on task at hand for him, which is the scry.
Okay. All right. Millie.
Hi there.
There you go. This is your gambling hall. What are we doing?
Gonna start with Bones, making it easy. Whatever you... How do we do Bones? Basically, best number wins. If you have 2-1 snake eyes, but big monies are going to be 6. And basically, whatever's on the table is going to be your winnings. But in order for you to win the big prize, you have to go against the house, which is Millie. And so, starting off, who is going to step forth and play a game of Bones?
Is it with breaking bones?
No, but I like your thought process.
Okay, then I think pass.
So all you do is you roll, or these are called bones. You just roll them, you add up the total, and then the other person has to either beat you in order to win or stay under you and you win. Very simple.
So I roll bones, and then I'm telling you, I'm not very good at counting, but then we fight with our fists, and then we beat them?
No, this is a different type of fighting. So here, I'll start you off light, and he's going to hand you 2 dice. You just roll that on the table. So you got a 9. And now the other person has to either try to beat you, or they lose. And that is a 7. You're number 1, so therefore you win what is placed on the table in bets.
I have not heard of 9 or 7. I'm very good with 4, 2, 3, and 1.
Millie's going to look, or side-eyed William real quick, like
Not there. Not there.
Yeah, just
Looking around for him. Yeah,
yeah.
Like,
he's gone.
Millie, you need to understand. Grundle can only count to 4.
So Millie's just gonna say, just stick close to me. We don't want you to lose your money.
Oh, I don't have any money. I was just curious if it was about breaking bones, but
No.
it seems to be a lot of counting, and honestly, my head is hurting even thinking about it.
Well, how about cards? Can you match faces?
The cards have faces?
Yeah. And Millie's going to lay out his deck of cards and show her the many suits that are on the face of the cards. So you have your spades, your clubs, your hearts, and your diamonds. And then you have my two little friends, Big Jack and Little Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Now, in order to play this, we call it, well, aside from me, blackjack. But long story short, all you have to do is get a better suit than the other person. Let's see if we can find a unworthy soul to step up to the table and play some games with you. He's going to look.
What about
around
souls? What about souls?
I am so terrified because I am really not sure how well Grendel is going to comprehend these games.
One of the crew members steps up and is in on the pot.
There we go. So, Grendel, all you have to do is, well, win if you want to play. If not, it's going to have to be old Millie.
I will be honest, I'm not very good at understanding. Maybe I can just watch you guys and I can beat up whoever causes trouble.
Sure. And then Millie's going to start off and give his little cheeky smile. Well, I'll let the guest go first.
What am I doing?
So for this, it's basically going to be roll the d20. Whoever has the better number win.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, he can roll a perception real quick if he wants to.
Already cheating out the gate.
Millie is a gambler.
6 on perception and
Cool.
a 1 on the d20.
Beautiful. Millie's going to roll a 16 on the d20. And he's going to show that his hand won. Oh, that's the first suit there, bucko. Try your luck again.
Yeah, play the odds. Why not?
Right.
Question for you, Millie.
Answer.
Were you cheating at all?
Nope. He had his crow looking at the backside of him to see what his suit was and if he was in fact cheating.
Ah.
Yeah, of course. In other words, you're cheating. I love it.
Hey. Phrasing.
Like actively cheating on the table? No. But is he looking into his hand? Yeah. But Millie's going to slide in 50 gold or 20 gold from his coin purse.
Oh my god. Okay.
So I have a 10. What did he roll?
He rolled another 1. However, he's going to go ahead, and this is since you are looking over his shoulder with a crow. He's going to.
Oh yeah.
But he's going to try to bluff and raise the bet.
Ooh. Millie's gonna. Ooh, he can't turn that down. He's gonna grin and say, "You sure you want to raise that? You're feeling pretty bold there."
gets a look on his face. And he looks at your hand and looks at your face.
Yeah, he's
No.
having a.
Can we take that back down? Actually, go ahead and fold on this one.
And he's gonna smile, and Millie is going to. You know what? How young is this fellow? Out of curiosity.
Probably mid-20s.
Mid-20s. No, he won't do it for this one. So yeah, he's going to flip his card and show that it's a 10. And he's going to just collect the winnings, put it into the hat for 100 or 1,175 gold pieces, and then he's going to look to Grendel. He may see Zinnia hiding somewhere with the other crow, and then he's just going to ask the others, any other takers at the house?
As you look around with your crows, Xenia has moved around over to one of the corners and is standing next to the Myconid spawn that is just kind of sitting there on a barrel watching everything.
A Myconid spawn. I don't think Millie was aware of the Myconids. I don't remember. But yeah, he's gonna brush past that and ask if anyone else is gonna take on the house, or if they want to try for the bigger prize. Bigger prize is whoever accepts it collects the total winnings that the house has to offer, which is 1,175 gold pieces.
Any takers?
Grendel can't count that high.
Oh, this one's easy, Grendel. Actually, you might be able to win.
Grendel just kind of raises a brow and she goes, well, what is it?
It's quite simple. And he's going to call his raven over to his shoulder, and he's going to say, all you have to do is be able to hit my raven, and then you win.
What do you mean by hit your raven? Like with my hand, with an axe, with
whatever you want to use. Hand, axe, gun. Maybe not guns, because the captain's been on one today.
Cannon just out the backside of the
But
ship.
anything that you can use to allow you to connect with my raven. If you're able to hit him, you win.
That's messed up, dog.
Grendel is not going to try. Grendel's not going to try to hit him. She's just going to walk over to him and try to pet him.
Okay. You pet him. It goes through, but you're able to feel a nice, cold, eerie presence.
Your raven seems see-through.
That's because, well, to put it in short, he's me. That's my spirit.
$17 plus. Does it 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, does the 25 hit you?
25 hits me.
Grendel just backhands you with an unarmed strike.
Oh, you're trying to hit me.
Yeah, you said that the raven was you, so that's how Grendel processed that.
Should have chose yours carefully, bud.
Ooh, no,
Grendel takes things very
she's
literally.
Seeing that, Millie is just going to, well, I'll be. You instead rolled a 4.
What?
As the card vanishes, but Millie claps his hand and says, "Not many of people understood the riddle of the game. You actually surprised and amazed me."
I'm honestly surprised at Grendel myself.
Millie's going to pick the stack of the house winnings out to you and say, "Well played." For one that, well, to put it as gentle as possible, played possum with me on this fine evening. Outsmarted the dealer. Well played. I congratulate you, Grendel, for humbling me.
I'm sorry that I tried to hit you.
No. Honestly, if anyone else had done it, I would have been all right. But you're a little bit on the, well, muscular side.
I am the master of arms, and she again just flexes.
Millie's just going to like, sly hand just touch one of the muscles, like, yeah, nice and firm. But yeah, Grendel has won $11.75 for her personal funds. Dang, I did not think she was actually going to figure the riddle out. Holy shit.
I didn't realize it was a riddle. I just was like, oh, Grendel's going to bitch slap this guy. Like, he said that the raven was him, so Grendel's, yeah, that was
oh,
like,
that's easy. You're standing right here.
That was like literally like an impulse. Like that was more like an impulse response.
But yeah, for the others,
1,100 what?
1,175 gold pieces. And then DM, for all the crew that's present, how many in total are there?
There's about like a dozen.
Okay.
Down to 29 crew.
So about 12 people are present right there.
Yeah.
So Millie's oh well, yeah, y'all are officers. But what Millie's going to do is for all the other crew members that are there, he is going to say, and as courtesy of our beloved captain, who has graciously allowed this to happen, he has given me permission to give you all 50 gold pieces as a way of saying thank you. So he's giving 50 gold pieces to all 12 crew members that are present there.
Which you probably knew it was coming, Millie, as one of the officers has won the great big pot of today's deal. And there's beginning to be some whispering and murmuring as one of them starts to get up and goes, "Hey, that's bloody cheating!"
As soon as the guy starts yelling, Grendel just walks over to him. She plops the bag in front of him, and she walks out of the room.
Go back here and win it fair. Oh, no, I feel like shit.
Hey, don't worry, buddy. It was better you won it that way than won it with the back of a hand. But you know, old Millie's good for good times in the galley as well as good times on the sea. But as customary for the Millie game nights, we all win here. So y'all split that amongst yourselves. The captain and I will roll a deception if I need to. But the captain has given you all a little bit of an extra in the issues that we've had at the sea with loss of crew members and other things. But this is not to buy your forgiveness. This is mostly to allow you all to have a good rest period for when we land next. So get you something nice, get you some booze, maybe some ladies or some dudes, won't judge. But all have a good time. And remember, all is well that ends well at sea, or however they say it. All right, now get out of the kitchen. I gotta start cleaning up this mess. But y'all enjoy the drinks, festivities. But you don't have to go, but you don't have to stay here either, or you can't stay here either.
I will take note. Grendel will be grabbing a bottle on the way out.
You're trying to buy off my crew.
William,
you hired a gambler here.
whenever it is that you leave your quarters next, don't know when that will be, but every once in a while, one of your crew members will come by in a little bit more of a jovial tone and just say, "Thanks, Captain," and just walk off. Like, just throughout the day, as they see you, they will kind of, their morale has been boosted. Millie has done his job with this gambling part, and through the deception of saying that this money was from you, has paid off for the time being the ill intent that the crew had been having towards you. Now it is not completely gone, but for the time being, yeah. For the time being, it seems that the mood of the ship is running pretty steady, despite everything that's happening.
Too bad William doesn't know any of this shit, so he's still going to be on edge the whole time.
Yeah. Ooh, wait, no, he won't know that. So, where's Xenia at right now? I gotta keep track of this guy. God.
Where's Xenia? Oh, you should have been Xenia. See, Xenia's fairly easy to keep tabs on. Who you would love to have kept tabs on was Luna when she was around. You see, go.
Okay.
Xenia is still where he was standing by some barrels, and he seems to be in conversation with one of the Myconids.
I'm gonna let that be over there. But yeah, Millie's just going to start, I guess, cleaning, and then can I roll a nature to see if I know what a Myconid even is? Because I don't think he officially met one yet or knows what they are. Other than
you would have seen them on Grimshield, at least from a distance. But yeah, you can go ahead and roll a nature for anything further.
13.
13. You've heard of people that grow like mushrooms. They're not
so they like
too common, but they do like, cooler, damp, darker locations.
So they like decay?
Yeah, for the most part.
Do I have any spoiled meat in the icebox?
Sure. You can have some that is beginning to turn.
Cool.
You would know on the crew there are two. One is the small Myconid spawn that Xenia seems to be in conversation with, and the other is a larger, full-grown 6'5" Myconid that tends to stay below deck for the most part, doing any sort of jobs or work down there, and their name is Rastabule.
Okay, so for the little one, Millie's going to cantrip cast Decompose to turn it into a nice paste for it and feed it that. And then he's going to give the big guy, I guess, if I have 2 slabs of rotten meat, the same thing, cast decay. So that way it's a nice little paste and be about his way.
Vegetarian foie gras.
Do you take your decomposed meat to Rostibule and he thanks you for the meal? As you lay it down, you've tried to do this before with the smaller myconid spawn, and they tend to just kind of shy away or hide behind a barrel or just very shy individual. But as you walk away, the plate usually is cleaned off after some sort of time goes by.
Sweet.
Xenia, as he takes it and puts it in the usual location, you get the sense of disgust, of repulsion, and it's not your own. He always does that. So gross.
I think he is trying to be helpful, but I do not believe he knows your taste. Would you like me to inform him?
No. Wouldn't want him to think that I am ungrateful.
Spit in your food.
It's okay.
You asked my name. I already know yours. My name's Albert.
Albert. There was a time not long ago, Albert, where there was quite a wave of fear fraught with it. I wonder if that was partially from you, but also with you. It seems you can project how you feel, and I suppose that is compounded by what others do as well.
Make a wisdom saving throw, Xenia.
It's a 19.
They're the ones making us go through this. Okay.
You begin to feel...
Not intentionally. I'll speak with you later.
You begin to feel that feeling of being cornered, but it quickly runs over you. But it's still visible in Albert as he goes, I don't mean to. I can't. I'm not like everybody else. And he starts to run away.
I'm going to follow him.
He just finds one of the smallest, darkest places in the ship and just begins to cry. But as you're following Albert through, you notice different crew members beginning to get paranoid and anxious, and that feeling begins to trickle throughout. I need Millie, Grendel, and William to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh.
I'm suing.
I'm sorry.
Let's see, wisdom. Oh, yay. 17 for me.
Okay. William, you begin to feel like a cornered mouse. Someone is blaming you once again for things that are out of your control.
Eyes fixed on the door, pistol in hand, waiting for somebody to burst through that door.
Gotcha. We'll get to the information on your scry after this. Okay, Xenia, so you follow him?
Not in an, accusatory way or anything. There is concern wafting from Xenia, and it's apparent, and he's not making an effort to hide that. Knowing that these creatures are quite empathic, he's making sure he's not presenting himself as a threat.
Okay.
It's alright, Albert. No one's blaming you for anything. If you can't control it, that's no fault of yours.
That's why they sent me away. That's why they took me away from my home. That's why Sovereign wanted me gone. He wanted to get rid of a problem.
You did not wish to join us.
No. I want to go home. I want to play with my crabs on the beach.
How long since you found you had these abilities?
Since I was sprouted, I suppose. Normally, sovereigns have to have years of growing and control of their spores and practice to connect to everything, but I just do it. And I don't eat rotten meat. I don't eat decay. I like the fresh berries off the bush. And I like the sun. And I like to hear the birds. And I like taking bad memories away. Do you have any that I could have? I'm kind of hungry.
I have berries. And Xenia is going to open his palm to reveal 10 good berries. Is it memories that sustain you most? Here, have some. You'll feel better.
Yeah. You take
Does
too
it go-
long and people start noticing.
Sorry.
Did you do this back home as well?
Yes. They didn't like it.
I think there are people who have gone through such pain. They would give much to have it taken away. But the importance is those people want that. It does not simply happen. You know, some would like to work from it. It makes them stronger when they overcome it. Some, there are just things too great that it is best to forget and let the time heal. But the soul could not. You know? Perhaps if you asked others, they would be open to you. Even if it's a bad memory, perhaps as a child that tripped over a rock and gashed their knee open. Harmless, if that were to disappear. You know?
So you're saying that I can be helpful?
I think you can be very helpful, yes. Especially with the way you feel emotions as strongly as you do. Some people, they've grown jaded. They see only an objective and they don't consider what harm or what issues may arise in their quest to find it.
So
You are not a problem, you're a solution. It just depends on whose solution you can be.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you trust the people on this floating tree?
I trust those who I know better and have had time to know. Others, I can usually tell if I might be about to do something. There's a change in their demeanor, there's a slip of the tongue. I do trust those I call my friends. And when I cannot, I trust myself to know how to act should that situation arise.
The one everybody calls Captain. He hurts me the most.
You said he was the one who feared the most. The one who was most afraid, you said.
That's why I got the crabs on board. Thought they would calm me down, but it's always persistent. I just wish I could disconnect. Is there something you can do to help me? I don't know if you are muted, Xenia, or if everybody else can hear, but I can.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
He said that's a good question. If not me, perhaps someone else can help. And he's sort of considering what he could do while Dia is looking at his spell sheet. I know there was a time when we were in the city of Emberstad. We had a man, lovely old, God rest his soul. A bit of silence did him wonders, but that is not a long solution, you know? That can be an hour of peace. Perhaps if we work on the root of the issue, that might be more helpful. But if it is a reprieve you want, I can provide that. I can speak to the captain as well. Yeah?
Sure. That works for now. Thank you. I'll try to do better and stay out of people's heads.
I believe you. I trust you. And Xenia is going to cast silence over his designated spot to give him a bit of peace, or at least the next 10 minutes or so. Enough time for me to speak with William. Because Xenia has no idea what's happened. Still.
An unsettling smile crosses the small myconid spawn's face as we go to scry on the beggar's bottle. Who are we scrying on?
The shopkeeper.
Okay. Let me see. Let's pull this up here.
The spell. It's a wisdom saving throw against. It's a flat save because I only met the person. I don't know him fully. And then the
That
save
is a 19.
Spell saving throws DC 17, so that does. Unfortunately.
So what happens with that? Does it not take effect?
So the target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it. If the target knows you're casting this spell, it can fail this throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. Successful save, the target isn't affected, and you can't use the spell again for 24 hours. So
Okay. Ooh, okay. All right. So,
Incident on object.
Fine. Let's see. Where is that? Yeah. Tellurian, the gnomish individual that owns the beggar's bottle, will willingly fail.
Oh shit. Okay. Solorian.
Tellurian, yeah.
Solorian. All right. A invisible sensor is created within 10 feet of him. I can see and hear through the sensor as if I was there. And it remains, and it moves with the target at all times.
He's going through the catalog of different items that he's like sold and different names and things like that. And you're basically seeing through his eyes at this point.
Okay.
Or how does that work?
I'm seeing through an it's like a floating camera.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so he's going through his books with these magisterium gentlemen, distracting them, and there is a code in the Scarlet Brotherhood, and he's kind of taking his pencil and pointing to various little marks here, there, and over there, and he's sending you a ciphered message through this.
Okay.
Don't return until tonight. Your things are safe.
You see, everything is in order, I assure you, officer. Now, if there is no further business that you have with me, I would like to return to my work, please. Busy, you know, here in, Beggar's Bottle. So.
No, I don't think we have anything else. Do you two search the back? Okay, nothing? No? Okay. All right. Good job, Florian. We'll be back next month.
Any of these individuals recognizable at all?
One of them.
Might that be?
You could swear you've seen them before. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh no! No! I got so excited, knocked shit over. Oh no! No! Fuck! It's an 8! That's not good. I got too nervous. And I don't have Indomitable. Shit.
Take 6 points of psychic damage.
Ow.
As you feel a resistance in your mind and a void where Billy Bones' memory once was. But you could swear that you've seen that guy somewhere. It's one of those faces.
Damn it. Okay. Okay. Taking the cipher into account, he's going to continue to remain observing for the next how long does this scrying spell last? It lasts 10 minutes. So I'm going to spend the remaining 10 minutes continuing to observe, just to make sure that everything's safe. This individual, Thelorian, isn't being accosted by these guards. And
you are able to move this?
No, it remains with Thelorian the whole time.
Gotcha. As he moves around through kind of the angle of the window, you are able to notice that two of the individuals are right across the street, kind of posted up, keeping an eye on the establishment itself.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, that is one scry spell down.
One scroll out. I already got that accounted for. Fuck. Okay. All right. I like that he chose to fail because he knew that I was the one that bought the scrolls.
you just bought the scrolls. I rolled an intelligence roll. Like, I'm being scried on. I just sold them to this guy. Maybe it's him. And if he's not, then he won't know the cipher. Cool. Let's go. Anyway.
Very cool. I like that thought process. That's fucking awesome.
Anyway, so we return to the pale lady. As you are coming out of your scrying, your eyes clarify, and you hear, "Land ho, captain! Nengalir, ahead!"
The first time in almost 2 days, William finally emerges from his quarters, fully armed to the teeth, but wearing his studded leather armor underneath his pirate attire.
You've been to Nenglair before. There was a small, very, very small naval fort here that was constructed into the side of the side, and a small town. Most of the buildings were just stick, straw, and stucco with clay shingle roofs when you were here last. Since then, it looks a lot different. The fort has been built out to afford a better protective position on this bay. There are many ships that are docked here, as it has become a very big trading port. But the city, the small village town, has grown. And what you see before you is a blooming city that is built into the landscape of Nenglair. The bustling capital situated on the shores of Pearl Bay. Once a small trading post, it has rapidly developed into a vibrant city, filled with a mix of cultures and influences, stockyards and marketplaces. This large natural harbor on the southern coast of the island serves as the main port. The harbor is dotted with ships of all sizes, from small fishing boats to massive privateer vessels and navy ships. The bay is protected by a series of natural rock formations and a fort built into the cliffside. Natural formation of rock make it a safe haven from storms, which has allowed this civilization to thrive despite some of the more monsoon-like seasons. Let's see, I'm trying to get some pictures to you. Let's see. Yes, as you are pulling in to Nen, aboard the ship, there are small blue lights, about the size of a quarter, that just hum, 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 like fireflies, as they begin to light and disappear, and light further and disappear, as if following the ship. Everyone make a perception check for me.
22.
You're standing on this vessel, and as you look off onto the railing, you look down, and you notice almost like a jellyfish, like a man-of-war jellyfish tentacle sort of feeling in this, floating in the water, as if there's a large piece of fabric just floating in there. And the rest of the body comes in to view as this giant billowing koi seems to be swimming alongside of the vessel, as if guiding
I shall
and
name him Squishy.
as if guiding and pushing you further towards your destination of Nenglair and the port. As you pull in further, you notice two ships that strike, three ships that strike a chord. One is the Wayward Squall, the ship you took for the very first time from one continent to the next. The other is the ship that was following you, the Patience. It is docked here. And right next to it is the Sovereign's Pride.
No. No. Oh, shit.
As you get closer, you get a better view of the city. Different structures denoting the large marketplace and the places of business, the governor's estate, and the guild halls appear. And then Glair welcomes you. You still wish to dock at Nen?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm
As
going to
you
have to change clothes.
As you tie off the ropes, some of the dock workers help and catch the ropes and pull you in a little bit, tie them off for you. As the gangplank lowers, a half-elf gentleman meets you at the bottom of the gangplank. Goes, "Welcome to Port Karashi. What can I do for you? I need some papers, documentation, and just some signatures from the captain."
William, now adorned in a more subdued attire, but still along the same lines of what he normally uses. It's all black. He has a red, a scarlet kerchief wrapped around his wrist, but tucked away under the sleeve. Should he need that in any social interactions. Pulls out these 5 new fancy pieces of copper licenses and hands them out to each individual, and keeping one for himself. And as this person approaches, we're here for resupply and prepping for a hunt in the meantime.
Okay. Any papers and documentation of this vessel would be appreciated to put into my log here, just to make sure. And it'll be 2 silver to dock here.
Peleus hasn't been sailing for a while, so she should be safe for the time being until I start making a name for myself. So we'll just go with the Pale Lady for now.
Perfect. And
Produce all
Captain,
that information.
who is commanding this vessel?
Captain Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. All right. Any proof of that name or documentation?
He'll procure a set of an identification paper that he had made when he was sailing under that name as a pirate. That's probably not the best idea. Shit. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go with that for now.
All right.
Curious
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? No, I'm gonna let that fly until things go bad.
So you're just already expecting it to go bad.
Well, the thing I was gonna do was make him a friend of ours.
Oh, using the charm spell. Ooh, he is Elven. I would like to point that out.
Well, I can make him fail.
That's a
Wait, is this a new day?
yeah. You guys had a
Oh,
long rest, and then you did your gambling hall, and then
Yeah,
you made it here.
This is
it's not
yeah.
the number that I wanted to roll, but you know.
Yeah, everything looks pretty in order. This is a little outdated, just so you know. Probably been a while since you've docked this far out, and I don't know what sort of new rules they came out with in Grancis, but yeah, just get that updated when you get the chance. Okay, here you go.
We'll do, mate. Thank you.
All right.
Where's the is there a Monster Hunters Guild ordered here?
There is. It's not, it's not super big yet, but we're working on it.
That's fine. We just need to pick up work.
Perfect. Right. So you're looking for
We need monies.
Can't we hunt people instead?
Ooh,
Why are we hunting monsters? Xenia's horrified, mind you. Wait,
Serious question.
wait.
We're in a major city, right?
This
A growing
would be
city, yeah.
civilization, yes.
Can I roll to see if a faction of mine is occupying the city? Bounty hunters to be in specifics.
Okay. Yeah. So the guy at the docks goes, you're looking for Sable Iron Fist. He's in the market, running it out of the blacksmith shop for right now. We don't have any sort of specific place for the guild yet, but he's one of the Grim. So just contact him and he'll probably get you some work maybe. So yeah.
Sounds good, man. We need resupply on cannons. We've lost 2 in recent quarrel. Could use some resupply on repair material as well.
Right. So you're looking for cannons. You're going to have at Sable. So same guy. That's easy. And then let's see. You're looking for a general goods store, right?
Anything that has canvas and wood.
Perfect. All right. So you're looking for Storm Chaser supplies. Just down the street and around the corner. Alara Wind Whispers, the person you're looking for that. She'll get you all taken care of for any sort of supplies and sales and things like that.
All right. Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. If you're looking for a food or lodging, you got lots to choose from here. You got Pirates Haven. Well, that sounds appetizing, don't it? It's one of our more luxurious lodging establishments. Caters to wealthy privateers and captains such as yourself. I know you're a distinguished gentleman just by looking at you. It's got some great fine dining, but if you're looking for just a real good hearty meal, you're really going to want Red Paw's Noodle Nest and Tea House. Now, that sounds a little frilly. A tea house, I thought so too first when it came into town. But the guy there, Evil Randier, man, he makes some of the best ramen you ever had.
Ramen? This dude says ramen? Oh.
Hate him already.
Initiative.
The culture in me is appalled. What was the Pirates Cove?
Let's see. The Pirates. It's up here. Shoot. Pirates Haven.
There you go. Close. Once he starts spouting more information off that he's not really interested in, he's already started walking off, making sure that his entourage is with him. Still feeling a little on edge, but the edge is dulled down now that he's not on the ship and is with people that he can mostly trust. Because he does hearing these voices in his head of talk of mutiny and shit is definitely got him questioning things right now. Like who the fuck was in my head? That wasn't me, and it's talking about mutiny.
Millie is definitely under disguised, and Xenia might be able to see him.
Probably.
If
you allow it.
Is William having us all come out on the ship with him, or is he just dealing with all this in the docks himself?
This is a full disembark. Everybody's leaving the ship, even the crew, just to get some R&R.
Okay.
Ogner will stay on the ship for the time being, just for obvious reasons.
Grendel would probably just be standing behind William, and if Xenia's nearby, standing behind Xenia. There's really no disguising Grendel. She's a giant green woman.
Grendel, it's been a few days on the sea, and all you can smell is just fish and seaweed and salt. But as you approached this island and this city, especially disembarking, that salt air is mixed in, but it's so much farther in the background that you almost don't notice it. It only offers just a hint of that fresh air feel to a floral scent of cherry blossom that permeates this island.
Oh,
So you pick that up immediately, like way before docking. And if anything else, perhaps lifts your spirit as that floral reminder comes back to you. Millie.
Hi there.
You are off and about to find your people.
Yep.
You
find me some informants.
You move around the city and you come across an unassuming shopfront that says Mahdi's Emporium. You know one person named Mahdi. And that is Boss Mahdi.
I bet he's really rice.
All right. Well, going to make sure McRaven's on my shoulder. We're going to dust ourselves off in this new face, and then we're going to proceed in.
You move in to this small shop filled with all sorts of little eccentricities. There's a box or a basket of unlabeled potions. There are wands on the wall. There are just different cloaks and hats and different playing cards and all sorts of just little trinkets, rings, necklaces, amulets, all sorts of just things all throughout this small space. And before you, behind the counter, is a large orange toad man. Very rotund, filling the space. Wearing a kimono that is open in the front. As he turns and goes, "Welcome to Maddie's Emporium. What can I do for you, traveler?"
Am I aware of the customs of his establishment? I.e., if I were to reveal a specific badge, does his people know? I'm going to show my Zentarum badge to him, and I'm going to say,
fucking what badge?
Zentarum, and I'm going to ask an audience with Boss. Yeah. Big facts, Zinnia. Big facts on that one.
Right this way.
And he's going to follow, and he will remain in his disguise until he knows he's safe.
You would probably try to maintain your disguise for as long as possible. Because you owe Boss a lot of money. And as you enter the curtain, there's an even larger orange toad with blue tattoos sitting amongst pillows. And as you go through the curtain, your disguise falls. Well, Millie. Misa, haven't seen you in some time. And that's where we're going to end our session tonight.
Oh my God!
I know you're not going to be here next week, so I needed some way to kind of put you to the side for a little bit. And
Clever.
I thought that'd be great.
Clever.
Yeah. So we'll when you come back, we'll go through that. And,
okay.
and
This dude was indebted to some Kuatoas, man. The fuck.
So Millie's in some deep shit.
Oh,
he's into all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, Millie.
But anyway, we can talk about this off stream. We'll see you guys next week on Tales of Vardin and To Be Diced. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe.
Say bye, Tater.